Welcome back, tribe. Got an interesting one here. It's going viral. Trump says the U.S. can't deny 600,000 Chinese students coming to the U.S. because colleges would go out of business. But, Americans can't afford to go to college because tuition's too expensive. But rich foreign students can come and dump money into our system, making tuition higher and higher, while our education gets more expensive and shittier because it turned into a business. What is the justification? Let's find out.
Folks are not thrilled about this idea of hundreds of thousands of foreign students in the United States. We have about 350,000 Chinese. One point during COVID, you were going to, push to, get them out, but that was pulled back. You've said as many as 600,000 Chinese students could come to the United States. Why, sir, is that a pro-MAGA position when so many American kids want to go to school and there are places not for them, and these universities are getting rich off Chinese money?
Sure. Never said about China, but we do have a lot of people coming in from China. We always have, China and other countries. We also have a massive system of colleges and universities. And if we were to cut that in half, which perhaps makes some people happy, you would have half the colleges in the United States go out of business.
So what?
So, yeah, exactly. So what? China, our mortal enemy, the ascendant nation that is competing with us directly, that took all our manufacturing, which our elite sold out to, that are now scared shitless. They're competing with us against AI, that we're parking destroyers and carrier strike groups outside the South China Sea to contain them. This is the last peer-to-peer adversary we have. Russia can't even take Ukraine. Why are we giving them 600,000 potential breakthroughs through these minds coming to our colleges? Access to cutting-edge research. I want to remind you guys that these students that are coming here are legally obliged by the Chinese state to spy on the United States if asked. I covered this in the H-1B visa episode, where when he was talking about 600,000 Chinese students, they are legally compelled. There is a Chinese law that was not passed, or that was passed, a few years ago, not even that long ago, that compels them legally to act as spies for the home nation. We have potentially 600,000 spies on top of the H-1B visa Indians, on top of all shit. And a lot of this, the H-1B stuff already got pulled back. And the companies that were going to get hurt by the one-time 100,000 were just going to permanently offshore anyways. I want you guys to understand we have potentially 600,000 students of the enemy nation coming through our colleges, having access to cutting-edge information, research, and anything else that we shouldn't be enriching our enemy so that they can take all this knowledge back to the homeland and beat us. Does this make any sense to you? Is it worth the money to sell out your country? Shouldn't we put a ban on Chinese students coming here by the logic of Trump and the GOP and the Democrats who look at China as an adversary, who is a threat to the American hegemony? It makes almost no fucking sense. Like, what? Oh, you mean we're bailing out colleges because they're already too expensive or too shit, or the education is garbage? So our college system is failing everyday Americans, and the only way to prop it up is by importing mass amounts of foreigners. It sounds like the system is broken. So why are we bailing it out, putting a Band-Aid on it by inviting foreigners instead of fixing it for Americans? Valid question.
Well, I think that's a big deal.
Are they fans
You would have the
of the United States?
Yeah, but you would have, as you know, historically, black colleges and universities would all be out of business. You would have a system.
Ha! Dude, got it. What the fuck? What the fuck, dude? Historically, black colleges would go out of business. Come on, man. If they don't want to get educated, dog, let them in the streets. So what, is Chinese money funding black schools now? How are we still on black schools if we have a society that's all about equality? I had a dream where black and white children can drink from the same fountain and all this other shit. Judging on the, content of your character and all that shit. Why do we even still have black colleges, first of all? Imagine an all-white college only. So fucking stupid. And then second of all, if they're so insolvent, then fucking get rid of them. Makes no sense. So let's flood black college. What does that even mean? Are we flooding black colleges with Chinese students? Dude, what is happening?
System of colleges and universities would
So
go
we're
down the
dependent on
tubes.
China to keep
No,
our university
not China,
system
but
going?
I think it's good to have. I actually think it's good to have outside countries. Look, I want to be able to get along with the world.
They're not the French. They're the Chinese. They spy on us. They steal our intellectual property.
I love she's pushing back.
Yeah.
I mean, really? I don't know. I'll tell you, I'm not so sure. We've had a lot of problems with the French, where we get taxed very unfairly on our technology.
Yeah.
Bro, taxed unfairly versus China literally steals, commits espionage, literally is unfriendly to our businesses. Like, in order to be a business in China, you have to pretty much give up all your rights, all your technical know-how. That's how you enter the Chinese market. They literally have access to everything, your top-down operations, and then they go and knock you off by building a competitor and undercutting you on price. This is how they've caught up to the rest of the world. In order for you to access the Chinese market, you give up your company secrets. That's insane. We don't do that to anybody else. China is infinitely worse than the French being like, me wine, me baguettes, and me cheese, bonjour, and all this other shit. And they got to protect their little fucking wineries and cheeses. And so they tariff us on wine and cheese and whatever bullshit baguettes, whatever they're selling there. Cool story, bro. They're not over here committing espionage, stealing F-35 secrets and shit. They're not fucking sending Chinese citizens to like take pictures of our military installations on the United States soil. They're not sending fucking balloons. Do you guys remember the fucking balloons and we had an F-35 go in and shoot it down, or F-22 Raptor or something? Bro, a fucking military balloon was just on top of the United States, floating around, just taking pictures of shit with sophisticated camera equipment. And the whole world was watching like, what the fuck is the United States doing? How is this balloon just floating here? We are monitoring the situation. Ended up with them shooting it down with a fucking jet. It's like a reconnaissance balloon. This is crazy, dude. I've never seen a cuckoning like this by a president ever. Like, you ran on the complete opposite. This is what's pissing people off. Dude, Miriam Adelson, she's like, promises kept, promises made, promises kept. He moved the fucking embassy to Jerusalem. He bent over backwards for Israel. Promises made. I buy your fucking president for $100 million. 100 million. I wipe my ass with $100 million. She's worth like 50, 60 billion dollars. She bought the presidency of the empire of the world, the strongest nation, the most powerful, influential nation to ever exist. It only cost her $100 million. I fucking own your savior. We're fucking cooked, bro. We're fucking cooked. An old woman and her now deceased husband bought our president, and all it cost her was $100 million. That's nothing. These people are worth tens of billions. The United States is for sale. We got fucked. We're getting fucked. Wow.
Where, they put 25% taxes on American products. Look, assuming everyone treats us badly, because that's the way I am, but we take in trillions of dollars from students. The students pay more than double when they come in from most foreign countries. I want to see our school system thrive, but at the same time, I know you and I disagree. Yeah. We're never going to agree on it, but that's okay. And it's not that I want them, but I view it as a business. We have millions and millions of people. Also, I want to get along with countries if possible. People are shocked. Remember, Hillary Clinton said, we'll be in a war. I stopped 8 wars in the last 9 months. I don't want to be in wars. If I am in a war, we're going to win the thing fast, and it'll be violent. But you know what? I don't want to be in wars. But one thing, you don't want to cut half of the people, half of the students from all over the world that are coming into our country, destroy our entire university and college system. I don't want to do that.
I wouldn't lose any sleep.
And don't forget, MAGA was my idea.
Bro, she's grilling it. I wouldn't lose any sleep over it. I don't give a fuck. Get these Chinese kids out of here. They're fucking spying on us anyway, stealing all our military secrets and taking the knowledge back home after they're educated and not putting it into the United States. Get them the fuck out of here. Stop selling out our country. Bro, she's not having any. Nobody should be having. This is not a good deal for the United States. He's talking about he loves to do business and make deals. What fuck kind of deal is this for average Americans? The reason our colleges are getting so fucking expensive is because one, the government got its nose involved in loans and guarantees them all. And two, it just started wholesale inviting the world in here to get educated at American colleges. So tuitions exploded twofold on that shit. And they've outstripped inflation dramatically and wages to the point where like you can't even go to school without a loan. Before you could go to school with just a part-time job being a server. Now you can't go to school at all unless you're wealthy as fuck or you get saddled with debt that you can't discharge. So you graduate with a useless degree and then you have a fucking mortgage on top essentially and you can never get rid of it. And you're telling me our system will fail if we stop inviting foreigners over? Then our system needs to fail. Isn't this what capitalism is? If we're talking business, if we're talking capitalism and America is the king of capitalist societies, let these insolvent, shitty businesses, because that's what a college has become today, a business, let them die. That way the market can reorient and affordable colleges can come back where the only way you're going to get people through the door is if they can pay for it with a regular part-time job again. And then you will have people come through your doors instead of this bullshit system that we're all getting crushed by. This is crazy, dude. We're taking the world's elite, wealthy children. And I remember seeing this when I was in Los Angeles, dude. When I was going to college, the Chinese kids were all bucking, bumping G-Wagons, Lambos, Ferraris, Mercedes, fucking Beamers, all souped up, all crazy in their little cliques. And the local LA kids that were going to school were broke as fuck, dude, wearing hand-me-downs, struggling. And you got the rich Chinese kids buying up all the fucking property, coming to school. They don't give a fuck. They're just getting the fucking credentials and they're going back to go run their parents' companies. Meanwhile, we're the ones that are getting fucked paying all this tuition. You're telling me our colleges won't survive without their money? Fine. Fuck them then.
MAGA was nobody else's idea. I know what MAGA wants better than anybody else.
No, you did.
And MAGA wants to see our country thrive.
Bro. Just like the Epstein files was a Democrat hoax, get over it already, MAGA. Get over the Epstein files. Jesus. We can't refuse 600,000 Chinese students because the black colleges would shut down. Nobody. Trump is a retard. Like literally nobody is agreeing with this. He literally said to Donnie on Laura Ingraham he would rather have full Chinese pay than colleges take in American students. That's crazy. The Trump we needed, the Trump we got, bro. Fuck, dude. This is treason. 600,000 spots in American universities to people who've been killing us with their fentanyl. I forgot about that one. The Chinese are the ones selling all the precursor to Mexico and they're making the fentanyl there. Treason committed by them in our military. Treason committed by their students in Michigan. Fucking hell. They're fucking clowning, dude. He turned out to be the exact opposite of what he was running. We got 50-year mortgages, 15-year car loans, 600,000 Chinese foreign students in war in Venezuela. President, bro. This is our president. This is making America great again. Fuck, dude. Fell for it again. We got our awards, boys. Fell for it again. You see, we got our awards. This is why I just say make masculinity great again. The only control you really have is over your own life. That's it. These two things right here, your hands are the only things that will bail you out of all your problems in life. A politician will never bail you out. Politicians will sell out. They'll never make life better for you. And until you realize this, you're going to keep getting played by the system. This is the brutal truth. Until we manage to get all the boomers out of politics, until we manage to get enough random, I don't even say random, normal people from Main Street America that are not corrupted by money and politics to run and make America great again based on principle alone in their ambition, we're fucked. If they don't have that moral strength to go run up against these, what would you say, swamp creatures, we're only going to be voting in swamp creatures. So I recommend, dude, make masculinity great again. Protect yourself in this society. Forge your mind, body, and spirit. These aren't fucking platitudes. You have no choice. No one's coming to save you. Society is set up in a way for the rich to keep doing business, as in sell out our country right up from under our noses, selling out our kids, our children's futures for their benefit to our detriment. Corporations get richer. They get bigger. They turn into multinational conglomerates. They swallow up all the influence in our government, and they use that power to subjugate you and me. This is why our society is shit. This is why things have continuously got worse for the past 50 years, whether it's a Democrat or a Republican or whatever they want to call themselves. If they take money from AIPAC, fuck them. If they take money from corporations, fuck them. If they take money from special interests, fuck them. If they take money from foreign lobbies or foreign special interests, double fuck them. They are traitors. Money in politics. The Citizens United was probably the worst piece of legislation that ever got passed. Everybody should be tried for fucking treason who voted yes for Citizens United. This is insane. That was the final nail in the coffin for American democracy. When these retards that voted yes on that, it literally said money is considered free speech. So we have allowed infinite money in politics because money equals speech. This is what's wrong with this fucking country. I don't care blue or red. They're all retard fucks. And they sell out, bend over their assholes when the door is closed and do the bidding of people like Miriam Adelson and whoever else that donates hundreds of millions of dollars. Everybody's sick of this shit. There's going to be a massive change in the establishment. That's why we saw Mamdani win for the Democrats. He was not the establishment. That's why in 2016, Trump won for the Republicans because he was not establishment. We needed him to be Caesar. He turned out to be a little slop. So what's going to happen next is the Republican Party is going to get tested in the midterms and especially in the 28 presidential election. And we're going to see if the people are so distraught and disgusted, with how or what the current state of politics is for the Republican and Democratic Party, that they do everything but put Americans first, that there's going to be a complete sweep of the establishment. We'll see. Vote for anybody other than these idiots. Track where their money comes from. It's our only choice to get out, boys. Appreciate everybody that's been tuning in. Shout outs to everybody in the private community. Everybody doing their faceless YouTube channel stuff. Everybody on that grind for self-improvement and getting in a better position in life. Everybody that's been getting the hats, the Hoflation mugs, all that stuff. Appreciate you guys getting apparel as usual. Thank you for tuning in, guys. And we'll see you on the next one. Hope you have a good day.